Okay. Hi, Simeon. You are one of our Civic and Business Commissioners on Leeds Poverty Truth Commission number 3. And I was wondering if you could explain a little bit about the impact that it has had on you being a part of it.
Thanks, Vic. Yes, I think there's been 4 main impacts upon me. First off is it created an immense sense of humility, hearing stories of people's lives whilst they've been living in poverty, listening to the barriers that some people have, be they the community commissioners or the civic and business commissioners, in being able to influence the policies for the betterment of others. And then secondly, there's the candour given in the meetings and telling stories, the openness, the honesty of fellow commissioners. Some of those stories have been highly personal, such as regarding children being removed by social care, substance misuse, or the acknowledgement of how far our public services have to go to meet such gaps in the service. This has created an immense sense of community, and through trust that was engendered, a close-knit group has developed that will actually be very sad to leave at the end of this commission. And then thirdly, there's been the visual aids undertaken to describe poverty. And I want to give a couple of examples. So one of them was the spider's net. And this illustrated a wide web where one can fall into at any point and be drawn in deeper and deeper into a dark, endless hole to a point of not being able to escape, whatever actions are undertaken, be they personal or by the state. The web closes in on people through isolation, creating and perpetuating low self-belief, enforcing a self-perception that people in the web are devalued in society to the point of them feeling that they are worthlessness. Then there is the permanent juggling act for the challenge of living, resulting in complete mental exhaustion, reducing oneself to not being able to function. This is due to the balancing and careful decision making in determining whether to either, for example, keep warm or have a meal, even feed a child rather than yourself. In effect, there's a whack-a-mole effect here. There is also a lack of mental stimulation for such people, because without the financial resources to do things, they're watching time go by aimlessly. And that monotony of life creates immense time to think about things and monotony and boredom, as they can't afford a bus fare to see different parts of the city, for example. Then there was another example given in terms of the quadrant diagram, and it was really interesting to see where different commissioners placed themselves on this quadrant and their perceptions, and particularly the difference between the civic and business commissioners and the community commissioners. And there was generally a distinct difference. And this has illustrated the work that there has been done in terms of bridging the divide. And much of that difference was based upon the perceptions of life, which is largely based upon financial well-being. For those with sufficient financial means and in work, they had a much more positive outlook on their place within the quadrants. Fourthly, there was an immense energy in the room at all times, and everybody wanted the same outcome, and that outcome was to humanize the world, to make it a better place, be they either living in poverty or an executive member of a local authority, a principal of a further education college, a senior manager in a local authority or for a bus company or even in the DWP. So overall, the Poverty Truth Commission has challenged me, and it's challenged me in a really good way. And whilst I professionally and personally seek to ensure social justice in my life, membership of the Poverty Truth Commission has reignited a fire in me to practically do more to support people in poverty in my professional life through the charity that I run, as well as in my personal life. Furthermore, it's created an intellectual thirst to understand the causes of poverty in the UK and how I can ensure that policy is better influenced to reduce poverty here in the UK.
Wow, thank you, Simeon. And so therefore, moving forward, how would you say generally it's shaped your actions in the future?
I wish to play a part in supporting the work of the Commission. Through my job at Efficiency North, I wish to promote the work of the Commission to other social landlords, particularly in Yorkshire and Humber. And from this, I hope the social landlords can then support existing partners to create commissions in their own localities and seek funding to run those commissions from other anchor institutions, such as the landlords themselves, maybe with some support from local authorities and or health bodies in that area, locality as well. And then this has begun through a presentation at one of our Efficiency North sessions earlier this year in 2020, when and I also want to hold future sessions in 21 next year as well. And I hope that Andrew and some of the community commissioners will be able to support me. There is, of course, the imagery that I've already referred to, and the exercises that were undertaken and the fantastic storytelling, often through videos, capturing so powerfully the emotion felt on screen, along with the appropriate visualization, as well as some humor at times. And finally, there's the key takeaway concept to me is the greater depth in humanizing. This was a new term to me before I became a commissioner, but it's such an important term. And as we need to humanize the world, we also have assets and qualities that are needed to make the world a better place.
Thank you so much for your honest reflections and for all your involvement in the Commission so far. Thanks, Simeon. Stop.